Hello, my name is John.
And my name is Rafi.
Today we'll be talking about
Stocks.
Rafi. What exactly are stocks?
Well, stocks are a way to invest into a company and the profits that company makes.
So you can use your money to make money through a company?
Basically, yes.
I'm sure a lot of people would love to get started with stocks, but the main thing holding them back is the lack of money to invest, right?
Not necessarily. Anyone can start investing in stocks, even with just a single dollar.
Wow, so anyone really can get started.
Exactly.
Now that we know that anyone can start trading stocks, where exactly can you trade stocks?
There are a couple ways of trading stocks. The more traditional way would be to use a stockbroker, but recently anyone can trade stocks on their phones using trading apps.
Oh, apps like Robinhood or Webull?
Those are some of the more popular ones, but there are many to choose from.
So if trading on the stock market can be so easy, why won't everyone try it?
People are usually afraid to lose money or think they need to do a lot of research to make any profits.
Well, the best way people can learn is by trying. Most companies now will offer free stock or money to start off with.
That's right, so there's no better time to start than now.
I think we've learned a lot of information about the stock market today, Rafi.
I think so too, John.
Everyone remember to go sign up on a trading app and get started today.
He's right, it's super easy and you could be making money. Thanks for tuning into the CHC Finance Show.
Hi, how you doing? My name is Stephen and Ovidio. I will be cooking steak and white rice today. As a college athlete at Chestnut Hill, meals are pretty expensive living off campus, so the amount of food that I have to pay for each week is limited. So when you have meat and carbs as an athlete, that's the main things that you need. So to make the steak today, we have obviously the steak, our rice, garlic powder, olive oil, black pepper, and salt. I use pink Himalayan salt, but regular salt is fine. And your cast iron skillet. First is to season the meat. So I usually start with the salt. Healthy amount is good because you want your steak to taste good. You want to do both sides, and you want the front of the steak to look like that when salted. After salting the steak, you want it to rest for at least 30 minutes so the salt can absorb into the meat. So after salting both sides and the 30 minutes has passed, then we can start seasoning the rest of the steak. So next I use just regular black pepper. Any black pepper is fine. We want to do that on both sides. Obviously, before handling any meat, you want to wash your hands. And then we go with the garlic. I use garlic powder, not regular garlic, just because it's easier on a student budget. This gives it a little extra flavor. And after that, our steak is seasoned. It should look like that. After your steak is seasoned and ready to go in the pan, you're gonna heat up the cast iron skillet to a little above medium heat, and you want it to let that sit until the pan is nice and hot. And then once the pan is nice and hot, you cover that. You do a nice base layer of olive oil. And while we're waiting for that, we can talk about the rice. So I have a special rice maker that I have from home, and it's just a regular rice maker. You put the rice in water, and then you put it in the microwave. With how I cook rice, I'm pretty easy on measurements. I usually do a cup of white rice, and a cup of water. So now our pan is coated, and we're still waiting for the pan to get hot. But you just want a base layer over there, nice and shiny from the olive oil. Too much olive oil, it won't make the steak taste good. So after that, you wait for the pan to heat up, and then you're ready to cook. So now our pan is nice and hot, and we will be putting our steak on. Since this is a thinner steak, I usually put it on for 2 minutes on each side. So while our steak is cooking, we are going to get prepping our rice. So you want 1 cup of water and 1 cup of white rice, and you put it in this, and then you pop it in the oven for about 6 minutes, and that's it. So this is what it should look like after you make your first flip after the first 2 minutes. In the microwave it goes. And here is the finishing product. I cooked it to medium rare with the 2 minutes on each side, and here is the finished rice.
How you guys doing? My name is Terrell Bush. I'm the sports editor here at Chestnut Hill for our school newspaper called The Griffin. Joining me today is our athletic director here at CHC, Jesse Belser. Coach Jesse, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing well, Terrell. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. 2008 up until the 2019-2020 season, you were a coach as well as an athletic director. So just speak about some of the challenges that you faced being an athletic director in addition to being a head coach.
Yeah, well, so in 2008, I was the assistant athletic director, and then became the associate athletic director. Mm-hmm. That was not as difficult. I think the main thing when you're in athletic administration and also coaching a team, the most thing that you had to pay attention to is fairness, making sure that you're not being perceived as favoring your team, favoring certain teams. It's really kind of treating everybody the same, making sure everyone had what they needed, and I think I was always focused on that. So I never really heard a lot of talk about how my team was treated better than other teams. And you know, one of the things that I always did, I always made sure everyone else had their gear ordered before mine was, and I always made sure everyone's practice schedules were done before mine was. So that was not really that much of a challenge because we have great coaches here, everyone works together. It wasn't that hard. Now when I became the athletic director, the first 2 years, I was actually the athletic director and the head coach for 2 years. That was a lot more difficult than I thought. Okay. You know, you have situations that you have to make decisions about, and when your team is part of those decisions, at times it starts to get a little bit cloudy, and it made it a little more difficult, which is basically the reason why I chose to step down as the head coach. I felt as if I wasn't being a great coach or a great athletic director because I was spread between both, and I want to do great things for the college, and I don't think I was going to be able to if I was also trying to coach a team. It turned out to be a great transition because I stepped down on February 28th, and March 12th everything stopped due to COVID. Right. And I don't know how I would have been able to keep a team together through the pandemic while I was also trying to keep a whole department together. So everything really worked out well.
Good evening. I'm Willie Johnson. Today, me and my colleague, William, will go through countless interviews on COVID vaccines. Should you get it? Should you not get it? Should you get it? Do you turn into a zombie? Tonight at 11.
Thank you, Willie. As you might know, people are afraid of what the COVID vaccines might happen. Zombies, vampires, we don't know. I asked a few family members of mine to see what happens, and a couple of friends. Here's what they said.
How you doing?
What do you think about the vaccinations?
I'm not for them, because I don't think there was enough studies and stuff done, and a lot of people have been reacting very badly to them.
I am Legend.
I think that's more in the brain than getting vaccine.
So will you ever get the vaccination?
No.
God, I don't think it's good. Just freaks me out.
I feel that everybody should get it.
So everyone should get it.
I think everybody should get it. Speaking from someone who had COVID and couldn't breathe and almost ended up in the hospital, I think everybody should get it.
So will you get the vaccine?
Yeah.
What do you think? No? Should you? Are you vaccinated? I think you should be. Such interesting words. And as you might know, I got my COVID vaccine shot, and I haven't turned into a zombie yet. So, get your COVID vaccines, subscribe to the channel. Have a good night. Back to you, Willie.
Very, very interesting stuff. But, in all seriousness, it's up to you to get the vaccine. You're helping others as well as yourself. And if you don't, that's fine too. But just remember, you're not turning into a zombie. It's for everyone's benefit. Just remember, subscribe to CHCTV. I'll see you later. Good night.
Hi, I'm Nate, and I'm here to talk about my experience with having COVID. So for the first time in the whole pandemic, just last Wednesday, I tested positive for actually having COVID. So I was impressed that I could last this long without actually having it, about a year and a half into the pandemic. My symptoms, I was pretty sick for about 3 or 4 days where I had like a fever, chills, headache, and all that kind of stuff. But other than that, for a while, probably like almost 2 weeks, I was a little congested. I had a little cough, but nothing too bad other than those 3 days where I really didn't feel well. How it affected me at school at Chestnut Hill, not as bad as it could have. All of my classes are online, so I was still able to participate and go to them without missing out on too much. However, I did have a little bit of extra work pile up while I was pretty sick. I didn't feel like I could get much work done, so I'm still here trying to catch up on a couple of things of homework. But other than that, I can't complain too bad. My symptoms weren't as bad as I've heard some people were to whereas they can't breathe, to whereas they are having bad migraines or all this stuff. I didn't lose my taste or smell. So I'm thankful that my first and hopefully only interaction with COVID was not too bad.
Hi, my name is Stephen and recently I've gotten over COVID or the coronavirus, and it's not really something I expected to get. And what happened was pretty surprising is that I had 0 symptoms and I almost felt like normal. One of the big things that I've learned from a lot of different people is that they lose their taste or smell, or they just have like a little sore throat, and none of that happened to me. But just because the way times are, I did have to shelter in place because I am asymptomatic doesn't mean I'm not contagious. So I was out for lacrosse for 10 days. And when I came back, I just had to get cleared by the doctor. And that was it. So just seeing different times or different cases around the world of people getting hospitalized and things like that, it was weird to find out that I was asymptomatic, and it was almost like normal to me. Like I was still able to go run, still able to go work out at home, and nothing really happened. So that is my experience with COVID. Thank you.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the cooking show on CHCTV. Today we're going to be cooking some tostadas supremas with pork. Thanks to HelloFresh, although we're not completely sponsored. We're actually not sponsored by HelloFresh. So HelloFresh comes in this neatly packed. They're very big box, refrigerated box, so that all your produce comes alive and well. And it also comes in a step-to-step guide on how to cook your meal. And as you can see, I took the onion and pepper and sliced them as thinly as I could. I also diced some tomato and onion for the pico de gallo. You got your limes ready. You may have some leftover tomatoes in our case. And yeah, now you just move to the kitchen and get ready to prepare the meat. Alright, so now we get ready to cook the pork. Step number 1. Just drizzle a little bit of olive oil over here. There we go. Now, we're going to start adding the condiment stuff. As you can see in the instructions, we now need the Southwest spice. Up with the veggies. We have some onion and sliced peppers that are going in. Now the next step, adding the Mexican paste. And now the cover water. Make sure to mix everything together so that all the flavors properly mix, and just a little too bad that you guys can't smell this. Alright, so now we got the meat going. I just prepared the tortillas off camera. So now before going into the oven, just a drizzle of olive oil. That way they don't get too burnt. Into the oven. So as you can see, you got two bowls. Make a sauce here, and on this one I already got some diced onion and tomatoes for the pico de gallo. I like to add 2 lime pieces to the pico de gallo, then just some salt and pepper, and that's it. Now onto the sauce. You can see, Misa is just trying to get a taste of everything that smells really good. So, you don't take my word for it, take hers. Alright, that's it. Tortillas are done, meat is done, pico de gallo is done, sauce is done, cheese was always done. All that's left, crack open your favorite soda. Hope the cap doesn't fall on your meat. If you like this episode of the cooking show, please consider liking and subscribing to the CHCTV channel, and enjoy your meal, guys.
My last question. So as I've grown up, I've seen a lot of teachers and a lot of coaches that they don't really care about what they do. You know, they just come and just a 9 to 5 for them. But even before I was acknowledged here in football, it was always love from us. You know, you always walk down the hallway, what's up, T, what's up, coach? Mm-hmm. And even at lunchtime, you know, I see you not only just going up to the basketball teams, but you're going to the soccer teams, the volleyball teams, the lacrosse teams. All the teams are just showing you love, and you could tell that you enjoy what you do. Yep. So day in and day out, even if it's a bad day, what makes you enjoy what you do?
Being here. I mean, really, I make it a point to try to learn as many of the people's names at the college as possible, not just the athletes. I think it's really important to be present when I'm around, and you know, sometimes it might look like I never have bad days because I try to have put on my happy face a lot when I'm walking around here, right. And that's not a front. I think that bringing good energy is a positive thing, and the reason why I try to say hello to everybody and make sure I know their name and show love to all the different teams, because I really care. I want everyone to know that I care. And so when you're coming, like you were talking about, you know, sometimes you feel like there are certain people that just show up and do their job. Right. I have to disagree with that, because you don't know what everyone's going through. True. No one gets into this business, whether it's teaching, whether it's coaching, whether it's in administration. No one gets into this business if they don't care about people. You just don't know what they're going through at a certain time. Right. My thing is to not let everybody know what I'm going through all the time, but to know that I'm here and I'm present, and I want to see everyone succeed. Even when I was the men's basketball coach, I wanted to see sprint football succeed. I wanted to see women's soccer succeed, volleyball, all the teams, because at the end of the day, we're all Chestnut Hill College. We're not separate entities. We're all the same team. And so, back to my goal, one of the other goals, and this answer probably ties it back, is that I want all of our teams to be pulling for each other. I've been part of other colleges and seen other colleges where the soccer team doesn't like the baseball team and the baseball team doesn't like the women's basketball team, and that we're all on the same team. We're not separate teams. We're all Chestnut Hill College. So when the school spirit is all in at all times, then I feel like I've done a good job. And I think that starts at the top. If I'm showing more love to certain teams than others, that's visible. So you just got to make sure that everyone feels that they're being treated fairly, and everybody feels that they are being cared about, and things will fall into place.
Thank you for that, and thank you for your time today. My name is Terrell Bush. I'm the sports editor here at CHC. Thank you for joining.